Teacher, yesterday I tried to watch my thoughts, but it was really hard. They kept coming like a flood. I tried to fight them and make them go away, but they just grew stronger and upset me even more.
Ananya, I'm happy you tried watching your thoughts. Remember, you are just the watcher of every thought, feeling, or body sensation. But you are not those things. Thoughts are never permanent, they keep changing like passing clouds. If you want to play a little game, notice how a thought begins and how it ends. You'll see they are like trains, suddenly coming, then rushing off in different directions, often all mixed up.
Oh. So, I'm the watcher of this ongoing drama.
Ananya, let's play a game. Sit quietly for 1 minute. Every time a thought comes, imagine it's a train arriving at the station. If it's a happy thought, imagine it's a bright yellow train. If it's a scary or sad thought, imagine it's a dark gray train. If it's a silly or funny thought, imagine it's a colorful rainbow train. Your job is simple, just watch the trains come and go. Don't jump inside. Just note, here comes a train, there it goes. Or you can imagine each thought as a cloud in the sky. Some are white and fluffy, some are dark and heavy. Just count them quietly, that's cloud number 1, there goes cloud number 2, watch how they drift away.
Oh. That sounds fun. Like I am the station master or the sky itself.
Exactly. And the best part is, you'll notice that neither the trains nor the clouds stay forever. They always pass. But what you did last night was the opposite of metacognition. You tried to fight your thoughts, and that only made them stronger. Instead, keep a little distance and just observe. Like when you are sitting in a movie theater. On the screen, you might see scary monsters or sad scenes. But you don't jump into the screen, nor do you run out of the theater. You just watch, knowing it's only a movie.
Teacher, so should I stop fighting with my thoughts?
Correct. Thoughts and emotions are like players on a field, scenes in a movie, or vehicles on the road, they are always trying to grab your attention. And attention is your most valuable energy, that's how they survive. It's just like puppies barking for attention. If you keep running after every puppy, you'll get tired. But if you sit calmly, the puppies stop barking after a while and settle down. In the same way, when you stop fighting, analyzing, or labeling your thoughts, they lose their power. Slowly, they fade away on their own, and your mind becomes calm and peaceful.
Teacher, but what are thoughts? And why are they mostly troublesome?
Ananya, thoughts usually bother us when we sit quietly or when we get distracted in the middle of something. It feels like they are waiting to jump in and disturb us.
Yes, teacher, it really happens to me in those moments.
Think of it this way, thoughts are like little visitors. They knock on the door of your mind, one after another. Some bring happy stories, some bring scary ones, and some just bring silly chatter. When you pay too much attention to them, they stay longer and invite more visitors. That's when you feel a flood of thoughts.
Oh. That makes sense. But why do they even come at all?
Imagine your body as a busy kingdom. The heart is like the drummer, keeping the rhythm of life going all the time, tug tug, tug tug, without ever needing your permission. The stomach is the chef, tirelessly cooking, chopping, and blending whatever food you send down. You don't have to remind it, hey, start digesting. It just does it.
Then what does the mind actually do? Does it only keep thinking all the time, or does it have some other work also?
The mind is like a restless librarian. Day and night, it flips through books of memory, pulls out old stories, compares them, and keeps scribbling new notes. Thought after thought, it creates an endless stream of self-talk. That's simply its job, just as cooking is the stomach's and drumming is the heart's. So, just as you don't try to control your heartbeat or digestion, you don't need to force your mind to stop making thoughts. You only need to learn how to watch it, like someone calmly sitting in the library, listening to the pages turning.
So, is the mind like a librarian managing all the information?
The mind is like a busy manager inside you. It collects what the eyes see, what the ears hear, what the skin feels, and what the tongue tastes. Then it mixes all that together and makes decisions, sometimes helpful, sometimes confusing. The mind also creates memories, imagines things, and keeps giving you thoughts one after another, just like a non-stop river.
But why do so many of them feel negative or troubling?
As for why thoughts are often negative, psychology and neuroscience explain this as a natural habit towards negativity. Long ago, our ancestors had to survive in jungles. So, the brain learned to notice danger first, like a snake in the grass, before noticing flowers or fruits. That survival habit is still inside us. That's why negative news, scary stories, or gossip catch our attention more strongly. Our brain thinks, if I learn about this danger, I can avoid it.
Oh, so my brain is just trying to keep me safe, but it overdoes the job.
Because the mind gives extra attention to scary or upsetting future thoughts, it starts believing they are more important. That's why negative thoughts often feel stronger than happy ones. Ananya, think of it like this. If you eat stale or rotten food, your stomach gets upset and you may fall sick. In the same way, if you keep filling your mind with hate, fear, or jealousy, it also becomes disturbed. So, if you want healthy thoughts, feed your mind with kindness, gratitude, helping others, and appreciating what you already have.
Teacher, emotions like anger and fear feel too strong. I act on them instantly without thinking. How can I handle this?
Emotions are like waves. They rise and fall. You cannot stop them, but you can learn to surf them. They are energy in motion and can strongly influence your actions, so you have to handle them carefully. The first step is to notice the emotion. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Anger? Fear? Sadness? Excitement? When you give it a name, the emotion becomes lighter. This also creates a small space for your intelligence to step in before you act blindly.
Wait, so you mean I can stop my mind from making me do something silly if I just notice it?
Yes, Ananya, that's exactly right. Now class, before we wrap up, let me give you some simple tricks for when you feel a storm of thoughts or emotions. First, try holding your breath and slowly count to 20. You'll notice your thoughts stop right away. Or, press your tongue tightly to the roof of your mouth. This also helps calm down strong feelings. When you do this, awareness comes back. Then gently return to normal breathing and continue thinking more wisely. Next class, we'll talk about motivation, another strong support for emotional intelligence. See you then.